What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Daily Scoop, where we break down the biggest conversations happening in dancehall, music, and Jamaican culture. Today, there is a lot to unpack. We have what appears to be growing lyrical tension between Skillibeng and Masicka. Questions about who really deserves the title of dancehall next major contender. Beenie Man preparing to release a highly anticipated project. Discussion surrounding Kemar McGregor and music chart. So sit back because this one has several layers. And as always, remember that some of the statements discussed today are opinion, interpretation, or allegation made by individuals online. We are looking at the conversation, not presenting every accusation as established facts. Let's get into it. Dancehall has always been a competitive culture. Artists compete for songs, streams, airplay, stage presence, lyrical credibility, international recognition, and ultimately the respect of the fans. But every once in a while, you get a situation where the competition starts feeling different. That is exactly why the current conversation surrounding Skillibeng and Masicka has caught the attention of dancehall fans. For months, there have been conversations about the younger generation and the question of who should be considered the leading figures underneath the legend. One name that repeatedly entered the discussion is Vybz Kartel. Cartel influence on modern dancehall is undeniable, and younger artists have often acknowledged the role that he played in shaping the sound, language, fashion, and competitive spirit of the culture. Skillibeng has publicly shown tremendous respect for Vybz Kartel, and some of his statements have been interpreted as placing Kartel in the position of king while positioning himself as a prince within that dancehall lineage. But here is where things get interesting, because Masicka also has a strong argument when it comes to his own standing. Masicka has spent years building an international profile. His music has reached audience outside Jamaica, and his supporters point to his songwriting versatility, melodic ability, catalog, and international collaboration. So when fans hear one artist emphasizing one hierarchy and another artist appearing to challenge that hierarchy, people naturally start asking, could we be watching the beginning of another major dancehall rivalry? No, let's be clear. An Instagram post is not automatically a clash, a clever lyrics is not automatically a diss, and two artists using similar imagery does not necessarily mean they are preparing for a war. But dancehall fans are detective. They listen to every bar, they examine every caption, they look at every social media post, and when an artist uses language that appear to reference another artist, the conversation can explode almost immediately. One of the biggest talking points is the crocodile imagery. Masicka has a song containing lyrics that fans have interpreted as being directed toward an artist associated with that imagery, which is Skillibeng. That led many listeners to connect the lyrics with Skillibeng. And once fans made that connection, the internet did what the internet does best. The debate took off. Then came social media actively from Skillibeng that many fans interpreted as a response. Rather than directly naming an opponent, the artists appear to use language and imagery that supporters believe were designed to send a message. That is one of the oldest techniques in dancehall. You don't always have to say somebody's name. Sometimes the metaphor say enough. Sometimes the naming and the timing says enough. Sometimes the audience does the rest of the work for you. And that is exactly what happened here. Fans began asking whether the two artists were actually exchanging subliminal shots. Then Skillibeng released an a cappella performance that intensified the discussion even further. For dancehall fans, an a cappella can be particularly interesting because there is nowhere for the lyrics to hide. No complicated production, no heavy beat, no chorus distracting from the message, just the artist, the words, and the delivery. And when the content appears confrontational, listeners immediately start analyzing every line. The question now becomes, Was this simple lyrical competition, or was Skillibeng deliberately sending a warning to Masicka? We don't have to rush a conclusion, because if this is truly a clash, the music will tell the story. This is probably the biggest question being asked right now. Who would actually have the advantage? Let's look at the objective. Masicka has a peer experience. He has a substantial catalog. He has demonstrated that he can make melodic record, street records, introspective songs, collaboration, and international material. He has also spent years developing his identity. Skillibeng represents something different. He is part of a younger generation of artists who have grown up in an era where social media can make a song explode overnight. Today, dancehall artists does not only compete through music, they compete through Instagram, TikTok, streaming platform, live performances, memes, interview, and fan communities. That changed the game. A clash today is not simply about who write the better lyrics, it is about who can control the conversation. Now, let's move away from the younger generation and talk about one of the biggest names dancehall has ever produced, Beenie Man, the doctor, the king of dancehall. Beenie Man legacy stretches across decades. He has competed with some of the biggest artists in Jamaican music, performed around the world, collected major awards, and helped carry dancehall into international space. And now, attention is turning toward his upcoming album. The project has been generating anticipation because of the caliber of names associated with it. Among the artists mentioned in connection with the project are Rick Ross, Ashanti, and Elephant Man, among others. If that lineup comes together as expected, Beenie Man is once again demonstrating something important. He understands that longevity requires evolution. The dancehall audience changes, the sound changes, the production changes, the international market changes, and artists who survive for decades are usually the ones who understand how to adapt without completely abandoning their identity. Beenie Man has already shown that ability through his career. His previous summer season project received major attention and was associated with Grammy recognition. So naturally, fans are asking whether the next project can generate another major international moment. Nobody can predict awards, nobody can generate chart position, but Beenie Man has something that cannot be purchased: his history. His name already carries weight, and when he releases new music, people pay attention because of everything that came before. So, where does that leave us? We have Skillibeng and Masicka at the center of a conversation that become much bigger if both parties decide to take the lyrical competition further. So I want to hear from you. If Skillibeng and Masicka actually went head to head into a serious lyrical clash, who would you back, Skillibeng or Masicka? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the Daily Scoop, and turn on your notification bell. Until the next one, respect to Jamaica, respect to the artists, respect to the fans, and respect to everybody building something positive.